So this truck has just been moved out of, right? This has been a working truck. We've been driving it for 550,000 miles, 556 actually, and it has quite clean carpet. Gary, the owner, was a shoes off driver, so this was kept very clean back here. It does have the table, right? That table comes up and clips into the back wall. We've got those cushions out of the way right now. But some nice cabinetry. The lower one, we were just checking all the snaps and buttons, and you can see there's always these kinds of things to address too, where the catch has bent down here, so we just need to straighten this out and it'll catch again. All these cushions can be laundered, so their zipper removes them, or they come off with a zipper, and we can wash those carefully. We can steam clean the back wall, but less than normal when it comes to marks. This one does have an aftermarket Xantrex inverter. We've tested it, so that's the one that will charge the batteries intelligently when we have shore power, and it's located right under here. There it is, that big gray device, and next to it is a diesel cab heater, a nice Webasto. Fridge works. One note, test the fridge. If you're looking at a used truck, these fridges are not cheap. They're made by Norcold. They're kind of a Dometic product, I understand, but you want to turn them on, make sure that they work, because they're quite expensive to replace. It's a nice little pull-out table here as well. All the upper plastics are in nice condition. I'm going to swing around and show you the dash. And let's take a look at these seats. So the dash has far fewer marks than normal. This is some dirt, and we'll be able to get that off. So the passenger seat is in great condition, nice leather. It does rotate and face to the back. When you find this handle, that's what it means. This chair will rotate around and face rearward. I do see a little bit of scratching on this garbage can lid. And what's also nice, this truck has an engine preheater. It has an engine Webasto. Nice little bonus. We've got the premium shifter, so we've got the button controls. We can manually choose our gears if we choose to do so. And the driver's seat has a bit of a wrinkle in it. Now, I have a company that takes care of my seats and rebuilds them for me, and what they will do is they will take the seat cover off, because the leather is still in really good condition, and they will tighten it up. They will re-sew this seam and tighten up the loose material, and that seat will look really nice. Before I talk to you about this inspection and what we found with Copper Top, I have a request for you. If you have questions, if you're maybe shopping for a truck yourself, and I know I've gone really quickly through this one, but if you have questions about a truck you're looking at, or what you should be looking at, or something I haven't covered in this video, please put your questions down below. I really appreciate getting those comments and questions. It helps me craft or plan my subsequent videos. As well, I have a request. You can really help me if you give me a thumbs up on my video. Pose a question, give me a thumbs up, and if you like what you're seeing, and if you want to see some subsequent videos, subscribe to my channel. Remember to hit that little bell as well. Now, my inspection sheet is 4 pages long, and it's really something I've developed over the last few years. I've crafted this for our RV hauler crowd. We're not looking at these like commercial trucks. There's a lot of companies out there that can inspect for commercial purposes. But what we do at RV Haulers is we're looking at these as if they're motorhomes. They have to look sharp, be safe, perform well, have longevity and reliability. We have different expectations out of our RV haulers, which I think are much higher. So I've got some things on here that you wouldn't find on a normal inspection. If you'd like to get one of these forms, I have an invitation. Send me an email, and maybe I'll send you a copy of this PDF. I've even got a little hand-drawn diagram of the truck, and we mark down every single scratch and crack and imperfection that we can find on the truck. And if you look at this one, there's not a lot on it. Another important thing is, as you are doing this inspection, not only do you want to inspect whether it's okay or if it needs repair, but also what's the cost. Add these things up before you buy the truck. If you have a chance, trust yourself. Put on your coveralls and look, you know, the rear fenders and flaps, they're all bent. But do I care? Right? That flap and these fenders, they're coming off in this case. But make a note of it. The side view mirror. So the glass is good, but the backing on my mirrors is peeling. You know, all good, right? We've got a few switches that are missing in the dash, but take a look. So we've got a little bit of, the only leak on this truck was a bit of leaking around the oil filters. Let me show you that. Here we are on the passenger side. We're looking up at the frame. So my steer tire on the passenger side is right beside us, and we're looking up at those three filters, the bypass and the primary oil filters. And if you look way up in the back, there's a little bit of oil leaking back in there. And from what we can tell, I don't think one of these oil filters was properly attached. Now, this isn't my truck right now. If I'm inspecting it, I'm not going to be messing with it, but we did find an oil leak up in there, and I think it's just a loose filter. So we've continued to go on. Not a lot of repair, which is really good. I find some trucks that need lots of repairs. We've had the privilege of looking at, you know, hundreds and hundreds of trucks over the years and inspecting them. And so the driver's side has something wrong. We have to fix it. There's some tape up on that one, so we'll have to address that. We're seeing a little bit of wear on the steering wheel buttons. We've got a little bit of wear in the driver's side. But really, you know, overall, this truck is in super duper shape. I looked at 12 trucks yesterday before I found this one at 3 o'clock. When you find a nice one, go quick, grab it. If you can inspect it, do so. Be ready to move quickly. Put on your coveralls, crawl underneath the truck. If you can, go for a drive. Here's another suggestion. You don't have to drive necessarily. Say you don't have your commercial license, you're one of our RV hauler customers, you don't have your commercial CDL, have the owner drive. You can learn a lot by letting the owners drive. When they turned that key, did they let things warm up a little bit? When they approached that railroad track, did they slow down, or did they just barrel straight through it? I find you can learn just as much going for a ride along as you can being in the driver's seat. Gives you a chance to see, how does everything sound? How does it feel? Can you feel anything in your feet? Do you see the steering wheel jiggle in the driver's hands? Trust your eyes, trust your ears, trust your nose. Go for a drive and it'll tell you a lot. In case you're wondering, Copper Top drives awesome. Smooth on the highway, no pull, no weird sounds. Just kind of purred along. The other thing that I specifically requested is, remember, yesterday I inspected this at 3 o'clock. I asked to inspect it this morning. I was there at 6:45 a.m. and I specifically asked the owner, Gary, I said, I don't want you to start it before I come. I want it to sit overnight. I want to see what I would call a cold start. Just see how it turns over. And I confirmed. I cracked the hood. I touched the engine. I made sure, you know, it was cold, and it was. And this thing started like a dream. Let's go for a drive. Join me on a test drive. I'll explain some of the things that I look for as I go for a drive. Parking brake off, foot on the brake, D for drive. We're pointing downhill right now, so it's automatically put us into 5th gear. The pitch and yaw sensor in the truck knows we can start at a lower speed. Oh, sorry about the glare. Hopefully we'll get rid of that as we drive. But my oil pressure is good. My engine temperature is still quite cool because it hasn't been idling very long. It takes quite a while to warm up. We can see I've got my foot on the brake. I've got there, application air is that gauge. That's my front and rear air tank. I was watching for air leaks. It's pretty good. Let's go take it out of the yard. All right, going uphill, it's shifted down. And we're taking this truck back actually to Gary. So my son is in the chase vehicle there. He's waiting for me at the end of the driveway. So I'm going to take us down the gravel and we'll get onto some pavement on our way back to returning this truck. Now, when I go for a test drive, whether you're driving or whether you're having the owner drive for you and you're in the passenger seat, have them go through a few different scenarios. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put very, very gentle throttle towards the floor. So I'm looking at, what I like about these I-shifts is you see how it keeps the RPMs really low. They don't climb all the way up to 1500 RPMs. Let's go through every gear. There's 30 miles an hour, 11th gear. Nice thing about my gravel roads is they're really bumpy, so I get to confirm that the suspension is working, shocks are good. There we are, we're in 12th gear. Nice low RPMs. I'm not going to go too fast here on the gravel just because it can get a little loose, a little squirrely. You don't have to be an experienced commercial driver to trust your instincts. Listen for the rattles, listen for the wind whistles. Look at the driver's hands. Are they going like this to keep the truck on the road, or are they going like this at 50 miles an hour? Nice and straight, tiny little corrections. And with tiny corrections, we're going straight down the road. Sometimes when we're talking to a dealership or a owner of a truck that we're maybe considering, they'll say, oh wow, it's got a current safety or even a fresh safety. Well, that doesn't mean a heck of a lot to me. If it's got a current safety, how old is it? 4 months, 6 months old? Well, a lot can happen if you've been driving this truck every day for 4 months. A lot can change. Even if it's got a fresh safety. Remember, we're evaluating different kinds of things than a commercial driver will. We've got a higher standard. So having your own inspection done is important. Now, what also happens is a safety inspection really doesn't include a test drive. So they haven't taken it on the road. You haven't heard how it started when it was cold. You haven't heard how it runs, how it shifts. None of that is in that report. All right, let's go for a bit of a different drive now. So we've gone really gentle shifting, going through all the gears. Let's give this a try. Pressing the throttle hard. My traffic's not coming. I'm out in the country, so hopefully no sharp-eyed sheriff is here. We're just going to start off in 5th gear, and we're going to put the foot to the floor. It's skipped, shifted from 7 to 9. Just listen. 7 to 9 to 11. And there's top gear. And there's 70 miles an hour. I'll back off on the throttle a little bit. Steering wheel's beautiful, nice and straight. Just as we would expect. Documenting the truck is back in good condition.
Yeah, you like it?
Well, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate you joining me. I hope you found some value in seeing some of the quick things that we do. Well, not quick, but some of the things that we do at RV Haulers when we're evaluating Canada trucks on behalf of our customers. We also welcome our customers to bring their trucks. If you found a cream puff, bring it to us and we'll do the conversion. We'll do whatever minor repairs might be necessary. And of course, we love to do the conversions for you. And then lastly, we will train you on where the fuses are, how to load a smart car, how to drive it, how do the windshield wipers work, all those important things. We don't just convert trucks. We love to train our customers. I'm Greg from RV Haulers. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for joining me. And hey, right up here on the screen, I'm going to put a couple other videos. You may want to check those out.